Hello there everybody, welcome. How's everybody doing this week? I hope everybody is doing well. Today I wanted to do a video that's a little bit different from my usual makeup routine videos. Today I wanted to talk about going blonde, in particular platinum blonde. Yes. About 3-ish years ago, I decided to go from my dark brunette hair to platinum blonde, and there were a lot of things I didn't know going into it that I was very surprised by after going through the process. And so today I wanted to share with you guys my top 5 things I wish I knew before I went platinum blonde, and I hope that you guys will now know, so that if you guys are considering going platinum blonde, then you can look at these things and say, okay, let me do this research, let me figure this out, because it is all very important before you decide to make that change. The very first thing that I wish I knew before I went platinum blonde was to study color and know exactly the color that I wanted. When I walked into the salon and decided to finally do my hair, I came to them with probably 10 different pictures, and I said, I want to look like Gaga in this, like Gaga in that, I like Christina Aguilera there, Gwen Stefani looks good here, Gaga this, Gaga that, J-Lo here, Kim Kardashian here, Kylie Jenner here. And little did I know that in every single one of those pictures there was a different shade of blonde. It was not by any means the same shade of blonde, and it does make a difference when you're trying to explain that to your stylist. Some of them have cooler undertones while others have more golden undertones, and both of those are completely different. So if you come in with a vision that's kind of half-baked, you're gonna get a hair color and a hairstyle that is also half-baked. So before you go and decide to make that change, make sure you pay attention to the shades of color that you are giving to your stylist, and from there, I think you should have a better experience. Second thing that I wish I knew before I went blonde was how important it is to research your stylist before you decide to go and do that. And this is no shame on anybody who worked on my head. I think I came into it kind of unknowing of what I wanted per se, but yes, it's important to know that your stylist can do the job. Make sure that you do your research to see, has the stylist that you have chosen taken someone from your shade of brown or dark colored hair to someone who is blonde? Have they done it to someone who maybe has previously dyed hair? Do they only work with virgin hair? It's a lot of different questions that you kind of have to ask before you go into it. Because in my situation, I was actually working at a salon at the time, and I would watch the girls do their work, and everybody did an amazing job at what they did. But when I decided to get my hair done, I got it done with kind of everybody in the pot. Every hairstylist who was working was kind of putting in their 2 cents as to, oh yeah, Nicolette needs this, she needs that, she needs this, add that. And by the time I finished getting my hair done, it was literally nothing like what I had wanted for the first round. I remember they were splitting off my hair and they were leaving like streaks of brown, streaks of blonde, streaks of brown, streaks of blonde. So instead of getting the platinum look of what I was asking for, I was kind of getting a mixed up hair color. And so from there, they just kind of like slapped on some silver. I had like a grayish colored hair going on. And then from there, I went more on the purple side. And then finally, I found a stylist within the salon who was just like, Nicolette, I know exactly what you want. Let me do it. She did it, and I went completely platinum from there. So researching your stylist is very important, and knowing exactly what you want, because if you don't, you're gonna really get the damage that you don't need early on in your process. That kind of goes with number 2 and number 3. Number 2 and number 3 is research your stylist and know your exact vision. Number 4 is I wish I knew the importance of the maintenance. And what I mean by that is not just root touch-ups. Root touch-ups are a really big thing when you decide to go platinum from root to tip. I mean, it felt like honestly like 3 days would go by and I would already start seeing these black dots that would kind of appear around my hairline. And I remembered being like, oh my God, I just spent all this money and in 3 days, my hair is growing out. So that was one part that, of course, your hair does grow pretty quick. So there is a lot of maintenance with upkeeping the roots. But past just the roots, when you're platinum, there's a lot of other things to consider, such as shampoos that you use. Usually they like to suggest that you use a purple shampoo because what that does is it cancels out any yellow or orangey tints that might come throughout the bleaching process. That's great, but sometimes you overdo the purple shampoo, so you might get some purple streaks. So there is the maintenance aspect of that. The other maintenance aspect as well, besides just the roots and getting the proper shampoo, is also the toning. Oh my goodness. It's not just a matter of, hey, dye your hair blonde and everything is going to be great, or bleach your hair and everything is going to be great. You have to tone it, and toning does fade with time. So again, if you aren't using certain purple shampoos or you aren't going in as often to get your hair toned to be the color that you want, you're gonna get these weird colors that kind of come in between the process. So it's very important to make sure that you are on a schedule when you get your hair dyed professionally, to say, hey, ask your stylist, hey, how often do you suggest? 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, how often should I come? What do I need to get done, from the toning to the bleaching and everything in between, because that is very important. And then also when it comes to the maintenance aspect of it, you've got to consider banding. If you don't go in often enough, you will be receiving banding that will happen in your hair, and it is the most annoying thing possible. I would wait anywhere between 6 to 8 to 10 weeks between my bleaching processes because sometimes I didn't have enough money to actually go and get it processed, and honestly that would work to my demise. The hairstylist would have to work extra hard to make sure that basically I don't get any banding, and on top of that there would still be banding. And banding is basically where they bleach your roots, and when they bleach your roots, I'll just look up the technical definition. This is what it is. That would happen, and it was just a pain in the butt. So definitely be aware of the maintenance process, from the toning to the banding that can happen to what kind of shampoos you use, all of that, because it is quite a process and it's totally different from just having your natural hair color. And the last thing that I wish I knew when it came to getting my hair bleached is the damage that comes from having a single bad dye job. Yes, just a single one can mess it up. When you're bleaching your hair, from what it is that I was able to gather throughout the process, you don't want to double and triple bleach a strand of hair. That is when you start running into issues and it just becomes so thin, so thin, so thin that it breaks off. So for instance, if I have, we're gonna pretend my eyeliner is a piece of hair. Let's say I bleached this section and then now I bleach this section. Well, now this part right here is double bleached, and you've got to make sure that you do that just so carefully. Sometimes the stylists, they just slap the paste on and it overlaps, and this is where you have the problem. On my hair, and I would have just pieces coming out, long pieces of my hair that would just come out because of just the way it was bleached. It was double bleached in some places, triple bleached in some places, and that just caused just so much damage to come with it. So honestly, the number one thing that's the most important is going to a stylist that knows you, knows your hair, and knows how to bleach. But just be aware that damage does come, and likely if you aren't the type to maintain it for a long period and you just want it to have fun, you are going to have to chop off a lot of your locks at the very end of it. I had to do it. I'm sure a lot of people also had to do it, but there was just a point where I was like, okay, like there's no point in keeping these on. It looks like straggly pieces. It's just gross. Get rid of it. And so I got rid of the hair and then kind of transitioned out and just made it just natural hair color altogether, because I was like, forget this, this is too much. Those are the 5 things that I wish I would have known going into the bleaching process of my hair. Would I do it again? Absolutely, because I'm crazy and I freaking love that hair. But it is some things to consider. Definitely do your research on what stylist you're going to use, research what kind of products you're going to need to maintain it, and just honestly keep it hydrated as well. And I guess as a bonus, number 6 is hydration. I didn't realize how much hydration is needed. So you're gonna have to have all of those masks on deck. You're gonna have to have all of those you know, formulas on deck to make sure that your hair does not break apart. That's just all I gotta say. But yeah, those are my top 5 with the 6 bonus things that I wish I would have known going into it. I would have definitely done this all over again because it was really just, I loved being blonde and I still love being blonde and I still think about it, but I tell myself, no, you need to wait, grow your hair out first. But besides the point, hopefully this video can help you guys if you guys are looking to go and become platinum. I wish I would have known these going in and I didn't. So hopefully this helps you guys. And yeah, if you guys like this video, don't forget to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe if you are interested in seeing more videos like this. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and we'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!